Hi everyone. I wanted to explain my weekly overview to you because I want to make sure that you understand all the assignments and that it's not too much work. As always, here will be my weekly overview and it'll be listed in my Google Classroom. For this week, again, make sure you log into your Wake ID portal every day. I have a Google slide presentation that you will need to click on every day to complete all your work for this week. As you can see right now for the week, I have us meeting on Monday, and I'm also going to have us meet on Friday, but the times may change depending on when you're supposed to meet with your classroom teacher. Also, I have only put work in here for Tuesday and Wednesday, but you may start this work on Monday and you may finish it on Thursday. I haven't put anything new in for Thursday because I want to just make sure and see how long this work is going to take you. I also know that you're completing a project for Miss Macon and Mr. Smith, so I don't want to overload you with too much work. So when you click on the Google slide presentation, it will take you to the work for the week. If you just go through the slides and make sure you read them carefully, it will tell you what to do. But a couple of things I just want to note. There are times where I will ask you to read a document, but the document will be on the next slide. It would be easier to put it into present mode to make sure that you can read the entire document versus reading it like this from your screen. There will also be times, I'm going to show you right here, where I'm going to ask you to click on a Google document, but I'm going to ask you to make a copy. Okay, so you won't be able to write in this document because it's view only, but I will ask you to make a copy, which you can go to File and Make a Copy, and it will appear on your Google Drive or right here, and you may answer it. Make sure when you are done making a copy of the Google document and answering the questions you can share it with me, or you can upload it to the Google Classroom, whatever's easiest for you. When you get later on into this Google slide presentation, there's going to be a lot of reading for you. And this topic, talking about the Trail of Tears and the Indian Removal Act, is not an easy topic to talk about. So I just want to make sure that you will be reading some speeches from two different people. And there are times when they use the term whites to describe white people and Native Americans as Indian. So the Indian Removal Policy or Act was called the Indian Removal Act. Today we call Indians Native Americans as they prefer that, or some may not. So I just wanted you to be aware that when you read these speeches from Andrew Jackson and then John Ross, who was chief of the Cherokee Nation, it's written in terms or used that we might not use today because it was written and read in 1830. So speech and language was quite different then. I want to show you here, for example, this is the first speech I'm going to ask you to read by Andrew Jackson. It's going to ask for keywords over here, and you do not have to write, nor will you be able to, if you click there, write in for keywords. So don't worry about that. My Google slide will tell you what to do. So right here, it gives you an introduction to Andrew Jackson's speech, and then it tells you about it here, okay? And part of what his speech is listed right here. What I want you to really gather is you don't need to analyze every single sentence, but what's the gist? And I know you've done a lot of what's the gist in EL that he's saying here, okay? And then I'm going to exit out of that one. I'm going to go to John Ross's speech here, who was chief of the Cherokee Nation. It's a little bit shorter excerpt, but nonetheless, if there's words you don't know, of course, look them up. Or if you want to talk to me about the speech, we can hop onto Google Meet and we can talk about it. Again, what's the gist? Don't get bogged down by every single sentence. But for just an example here, he's saying right down here about close to the end, you are aware that our brethren, the Choctaws, the Chickasaws, and the Creeks of the South have severely disposed of their country to the United States. Brethren means like brotherhood. You know, these Indian tribes are not Cherokee, but they're part of the brotherhood of Native American tribes, and that Choctaws, Chickasaws, and Creeks have severely disposed of their country to the United States. That means they've given up their land to the United States. So that's a key thought here from him, okay? Again, if you would like to talk more about the speeches, we can definitely get on Google Meet and discuss them because they are tough. Especially here is Andrew Jackson. He uses a lot of words that you might not hear today. And so it's just something to think about, taking your time when you read it. Don't rush through and read it. But again, don't analyze every single sentence, but look for the gist. And again, right here, even though it says my thoughts, you won't need to be writing your thoughts right there, okay? The next slide will tell you what to do. And as I go back to the top here and back to my weekly schedule, I think that's all I wanted to share with you for this week. So like I said, I'll meet with you Monday to review this week. You can start work on Monday, but here my weekly schedule, it kind of breaks out Tuesday and Wednesday what slides to go through. And I do have some really neat things for you to listen to Cherokee's, actual Cherokee's experiences, not from 1830, but from today and the 1900s that I want to share with you in the future. So I thought about putting that in for Thursday, but again, I don't want this to be a lot of work on top of what you have to do with the class, with your classroom teachers. All right, thanks so much, and I hope this was helpful.